Corey, 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 Corey. That's right. It's midweek, which, and you know what that means some of the time? A new movie came out. A new movie of a franchise that we have already covered. All right? You all know what it is. It's around that time, Halloween, spookiest month of the year. I'm not feeling that spook today because I'm so jazzed to talk about one of my favorite horror films ever made, Halloween Ends. Let's bring in my co-host with the co-most, Logan Be a Scare. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey guys. Was this the only franchise movie we're missing? I sort of feel like something else happened.
Yeah, there's like one or two others, but they're like not available for streaming yet, I want to say. I think we've hit everything that's like available to watch.
Oh, you know what it is? It's Clerks and Fletch, right?
Oh yeah, and I saw Fletch. You just got to see it.
And you saw Clerks, right?
No, not yet.
Oh, you didn't see that one? Well, I saw
No.
Clerks too. Remember that?
Yeah, you did to catch up.
But I couldn't find Fletch streaming. I'll try and do that at some point.
It's fine. No rush.
Okay.
No rush. It can happen in November. Neither of those films are spooky.
Well, it can't happen in October. We're in Saw.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, it would have to be midweek anyway. Whatever. This is a midweek show. Halloween ends. Halloween.
It ended, guys. Evil died tonight.
Yeah, they're never going to
finally
make
happened.
another one ever again.
I don't think so. We saw him get crushed.
It's done.
What else is there for us to see?
There are no more Halloween movies ever.
It's crazy how they never killed Michael before this
13.
time. The perfect number, 13.
Yeah, I mean, they have killed Michael before. It's just like...
I know, it's a joke.
It's funny, like the 7th one, H20, that one...
are we supposed to rank these? Because I did not do that.
I didn't either.
Do you know how you would rank them? Don't say.
I know like roughly where I'd have this.
Where's H2O? Is that second, third, fourth?
No, I mean it's probably like 5th or something like that.
Really?
Halloween Ends is of course number 1 on the list. Then
Can I
John
guess your top
Carpenter's
5?
Halloween. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. First one's Halloween.
No.
What?
You've already got it wrong.
Oh, yes. This one. First one is this one. Second one is Halloween. Third one, Halloween 2, probably. The fourth one, Halloween 2018, then Halloween H2O. I feel like that's
Flip 18 and 2.
I feel like the rest of them are just bad. Isn't that like the clear top 5?
No, I don't agree. I say Flip 2 and whichever one you said, the 18 one.
Okay.
And then take H20 out of there. I think there's a better one. I think you
That's
can
got heart in it, and it's like around that era. I thought you loved that movie.
I do love that
LL
movie.
Cool J.
I do love that movie, but you know what I want on the list at number 5? Season of the Witch, baby.
Really?
Yeah, I love Season of the Witch.
I read that I saw that movie like when I was watching all the Halloweens. I don't really remember it, but I read that they used like it's the font from the color for Season of the Witch.
The blue Season of the Witch font at the start of this one.
Yeah, so that's
I was
neat.
blown away. No one has ever popped harder for a blue font than I did watching this movie.
It's probably not true.
That's probably not true. You're right. Hey, I mean, what can we say? What can we say, Logan? Are you as excited as I am?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I watched it twice because you loved it so much. I was like, well, he loved it. I'm going to watch it again.
All right. It must be said before we start that my opinion is not the opinion of the public.
Right.
All right.
And I don't really know a lot about the public's opinion.
This is currently rocking a 2.3 on Letterboxd, and when I watch it on Peacock, Peacock gives you the Rotten Tomatoes rating on your screen.
Right, it's like 30 or something, right?
Yeah, it was like terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read to you some of the reviews posted by our loyal listeners.
Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't this a segment on We Love Kids movies?
Yeah, sometimes.
What was there a name for that?
No. I don't remember.
I don't think
Listen, I'm just going to read some Letterboxd reviews. This is
I
what
didn't know those, by the way, because I don't remember them.
this is
doing
what
Hubie.
Can I talk? This is
Yes.
what our listeners think of this great movie, okay? Colin Britt posts with no stars, just writes, Rob Zombie, forgive us.
Doesn't sound positive.
No, he's saying we talked shit about that Rob Zombie one, and now this one's even worse, okay?
Right.
All right. We've got Maddie Rags. Oh, wait, no, his is not that bad. Come on, I had so many bad ones.
What do you say? You said his name. He probably wants this thing read.
Oh,
Say
well,
it.
it says this movie should just be called Christine 2022, featuring Michael Myers.
I saw a lot of people talking about Christine, and I didn't notice Christine.
Yeah, it's because of the kid driving the motorcycle around, and he looks kind of like the kid from Christine. It's definitely some Christine homaging happening in this movie.
They kill one of the people with a car, right? Driver right over.
They sure do, man. Here, Justin Kyle, he's a listener. He writes, "Yo, unreleased this." That's his entire
Unreleased
review.
this.
Half star. Yo,
That's funny.
unreleased this. All right.
I like
Mike
that.
Roloff, a listener of the show, gave it a half a star. Absolutely a piece of shit. What in the hell were
Relentless.
the writers, actors, and producers thinking when they came up with this script? I've never been more disappointed in a movie than I was in the finale of this trilogy. Never. Okay.
Can I say something? I can't imagine. I can't imagine like coming off the last movie and expecting this to be like incredible.
They thought they'd get it back. They thought they were maybe filling time in the second movie, but that's not what was happening. Chase Ramsey gives it 1 star. His whole review just says, Halloween ends terribly. It's like a fucking David Spade line.
Everyone's got jokes for this one.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? I'm just sitting here and give you an analysis of why I think this is a fucking great movie.
Yeah. Man,
All right.
that's great.
David Gordon Green, he's our director. He's back again. Okay. He signed on for 3 with Danny McBride as his co-writer.
He really did all 3 of them. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in 2018. They did the first one together. Here's the arc. Everyone loved the first one, right? They bring Jamie Lee Curtis back. To me, they should have called that movie Halloween Ends.
And that actually be the last one?
No, I think they could have. They made these 2. That's fine. But that movie, call it Halloween Ends. Everyone got what they want from it. That's the finale of the movie. All right. If you're bummed about this movie, fucking don't ever watch it again. Just watch the first one and the second one, and then the 2018 one. That's a fine little trilogy for you to watch every year. All right.
Why Halloween Ends?
Because it's like, it ends perfectly. It's Jamie Lee. She stands up to Michael. She's got the big trap in her basement. We get to meet her daughter and her granddaughter.
But you're planning that to be the start of a trilogy and you're naming it Halloween Ends?
I say, no, this is why they couldn't call it Halloween Ends, because it's the first part of a trilogy. But what I'm saying is the rational title for that movie is Halloween Ends. And if that was presented to the public as being the final chapter of Halloween, the public would have gone home satisfied. But
I think people were satisfied, right?
They did. Yeah, absolutely. But what happened was they presented that as the first part of a trilogy. So they were like, oh, well, that one was awesome. Where's it going? Okay. And what the filmmakers had in mind is not something that was ever going to satisfy the majority of the viewing public. I understand that. Even while I was watching this movie, it was with the knowledge, like, because I was watching it like either expecting to hate it or to love it and to like be angry that I loved it so much, But I'm not annoyed that people dislike it. I totally get why people dislike it, because it's called Halloween Ends, and that means something. Okay, this is a franchise that's existed since 1978. They're bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back for a movie called Halloween Ends. John Carpenter's working on the score and shit. He's an executive producer. It conjures up a type of movie in your brain. Okay, and the movie that was on the screen is not the fucking movie that was in anybody's brain but David Gordon Green and Danny McBride.
Right. But you don't feel that way about Star Wars, right?
What do you mean?
Like people can be mad at Star Wars for how they ended that, but you don't think they can be mad at this?
What do you mean, Rise of Skywalker?
Right.
I mean, that was just a piece of shit. What?
But that
Does anybody like that movie?
I don't think so. But coming off Last Jedi, that's not what people expected, and then they gave it to us, and people complained about it.
Remember, but the problem was like they fucked up with Last Jedi. I know that's a good movie, but like it's so different from Force Awakens that the people that really like Force Awakens were pissed off at Last Jedi. If you're gonna do a trilogy that's really gonna satisfy people, it kind of has to be a uniform story for 3 movies, like The Lord of the Rings or the original Star Wars trilogy. And that is not what these movies did. Like,
Toy Story's not. They nailed it.
Matrix got up its own ass with like philosophy and shit in those sequels and like Zion and all that. And this movie, what they decided to do, I think, is make 3 completely different movies with 3 completely different themes using Halloween as the overriding framework. And I love that. It's kind of what John Carpenter was originally going for when he invented the franchise. Like, that's what Season of the Witch was supposed to be. And I kind of think, like, David Gordon Green's doing a thing where he's having it both ways. Like, Michael Myers in all of these, but they're also, like, their own little units of Haddonfield horror. I kind of dig that, man.
And that's clearly what he's going for, because
It's like Fear Street. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking about after this, because I don't really care about seeing more like Halloween stuff. Isn't Jamie Lee done? I feel like I don't really care about seeing it. But
I never needed her to come back in 2018. By the way, I was perfectly fine with H2O.
Didn't she already die at one point?
Anyway? She died in Resurrection, which was a stupid move. But like my thing with these movies is you can always ignore the ones you don't want to care about. Like in my mind, Jamie Lee Curtis chopped Michael's head off, and that was the end of Laurie Strode. Right? For years. Like, I know she died in Resurrection, but I don't like that movie, so I don't care. You know? Like, these movies are what you make of them.
Right. Anyway.
What? Are you not liking what I'm putting out there, buddy?
No, I don't really, I agree with what you're saying. I like what he did with this. I don't like that second movie at all, really. Also, isn't the first and second movie, like, the same time, and this one's 4 years later? Did I make that up?
No, yeah, it's like Saw. How like in Saw 5, we're still in Saw 3. In this movie, we're even in the.
Well, that's more like Halloween, right? It's like right after Halloween,
right? But even in this third one, like at the very beginning, we're still on that night in 2018.
No. That's a year later. That's Halloween night 2019.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize that. Oh, okay. So the idea there is that everyone is so terrified of what happened a year ago and so like paranoid and panicked that like everyone's on edge on Halloween, and that's how that horrible tragedy happens where Corey opens the door while he's babysitting and a little boy falls 4 flights to his death. Obviously my favorite moment in the entire movie.
Really? Doesn't that make the movie not so great then?
That the best moment happens right away?
Isn't it like Saving Private Ryan?
I mean, I was kind of just joking. I just like seeing annoying little boys die.
Oh, yeah. I bet your favorite part was when they're on the motorcycle and that cool music's playing. She's got like her hand in his mouth.
The music cues in this movie were incredible.
Yeah, really they are. From like the very start of the movie.
I was blown away. A lot of people brought up Christine as the comparison with the motorbike stuff. But for me, I was thinking of more like moody 80s films and late 70s films. Like this reminded me so much of Reckless and Over the Edge, man. And even River's Edge.
What about
movie
Near
I
Dark?
Just showed you.
Kind of.
Near Dark, sure. Like that vibe, that sort of like tangerine, dreamy, moody 80s vibe was all throughout this movie. And like honestly, at first I didn't buy that Jamie Lee's daughter would be so into Corey. But then like they kind of convince you of it with the shared trauma. And then it was just I was vibing so hard on the movie that like you just I mean, I guess you don't buy it, like the people listening, but I did.
It's very sudden.
Yeah, absolutely it is. But like it's a movie. Like that's I mean, that's not good criticism. I shouldn't ever say that. It's a movie.
That's a very long movie, right?
Hour 50? I don't know. It didn't feel long to me.
Yeah, to be honest, it didn't really to me either. But
This is how long all the Halloweens are.
that's not true.
Yeah, I mean Halloween 78 is an hour 49 or something.
Are
like that,
you
I think.
serious?
Yeah,
That's crazy. That movie's so long.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Do you want me to look it up? Watch, this will be 80 minutes.
I'm
I'll be
sure it is
embarrassed.
80 minutes, probably.
Fuck you. You want to make a bet?
No.
Okay. Hour 31. You would have won the bet.
Yeah, I don't want to bet.
Do you feel bad about that?
No, the listeners know I'm right, so I guess that's all that matters.
You know what though? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If the
It's
original
not
is 90,
Scream, you know.
if the original is 90, this should be 90. Because I'll tell you what, I looked ahead at Jigsaw and what's the other one?
Spiral.
Spiral from the Book of Saw. I looked ahead at those, and they're both 90, which is exactly like the running time of all the Saw movies. And I was like,
Except
that's
3.
what
Remember 3 was like an hour 50?
Yeah, I know, because they were wrapping up so much shit. But that's how you got to do it, man. If you're returning into a franchise, the movies kind of have to match.
How long is the first Jurassic Park? I bet Dominion is like 40 minutes longer than Jurassic Park.
100%. It's 40 minutes long. I mean, think about the Star Wars movies. All these new Star Wars movies are
Right.
2.5, 240.
That first one's 2 hours.
The original Star Wars is 2 hours. They set up an entire universe.
I remember you said that on the Star Wars episode. Like if
Yeah.
they could set up a whole universe and wrap it up and have like the most thrilling story ever, why
then
can't
I
all
shouldn't
movies
have
do
to
that?
spend 10 minutes in a diner with Dexter Jettster.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they can do it. Why can't everyone else?
I agree.
If George
maybe
Lucas
this
can
movie
do
should
it.
be 20 minutes shorter. I'll give you that one.
I guess that's why that movie won Best Editing, because they did all that shit.
Which movie?
Star Wars.
That one best editing?
Yeah, didn't Marsha Lucas edit that and win Best Editor?
I don't remember.
I think so.
Okay.
And then they
Let's talk-
divorced, and then he went downhill.
All right. Halloween Ends. It came out over the weekend, or like last week, right? Midweek.
Yeah.
On the it was
October
released.
14th, it says.
It was released in theaters, but day and date on the Peacock app. And it's not doing as well in theaters as they wanted it to do. It's doing pretty well. It made $40 million in its first weekend, but like the first one made the 2018 one made like $100
That's
million.
not fair, though.
I mean, it's not fair. That was pre-pandemic, and also, by the way, everyone hated the last movie,
And,
so
like,
people might be steering clear of this one because of that.
And horror reboots were like new again. Like It came out the year before, and we weren't in like the Friday the 13th Nightmare era, but we were in like a new era where like
Well,
we're getting
still
excited.
we're still in the era. You know what David Gordon Green's next film is?
Yes, he's doing something about The Exorcist.
Yeah, his
I thought
plan
that was a
was
show actually.
no, that happened already and already got canceled.
We had
The
Gina
TV
Davis, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oscar honoree this year, Gina Davis.
Wow.
Wasn't she? No, at the Emmys. I remember because I was confused by that because like I don't remember her ever being on television.
I have no idea.
Like she was on one show, Commander in Chief, that got canceled after one season. Let's honor her at the Oscars. She's a movie actress. All right.
yeah, she's Stuart Little's mom.
Yeah, she is. She sure is.
Jonathan
She-
Lipnicki also.
She had one of the greatest action runs of all time, in my humble opinion. Cutthroat Island, Into the Longest Goodnight, into some other shit. Some incredible movies in the 90s. Halloween Ends. Let's get back to it. It made $40 million its first weekend. Right now, it's
What's the
sitting
budge?
pretty. Oh, that's a good question, bro. I actually don't know the answer to that.
It can't be that expensive, right?
No,
it looks
but
really cool.
they probably gave him a budget, and it's like that's your budget for all four, for all three.
You
It's
think
20. 20.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It costs 20. Movie looks great. I think.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does
it's
look
the
great.
it's the best looking.
Incredibly edited.
Yeah, it's the best looking of all three movies. I think it's because I don't know if people don't like the look of this movie, but for me, I'm a fan of David Gordon Green's earlier, like more ponderous indie stuff, like All the Real Girls and George Washington. And this was the first time I was watching one of these Halloween movies where I was like, "Oh, it's that David Gordon Green. He's here."
Did you notice like some of like the shadowy shots in this movie?
Yeah, man. Some of that shit underneath
The bridge
the bridge, man.
where you
I
see
love.
Michael. Did you see Michael under the bridge?
I don't remember.
There's like a shot where when he first falls off the bridge and there's a homeless guy and it's like panning down to what's his name, Corey, and you see Michael like on the right side of the screen. It's pretty cool. And then
I,
another one later where he's killing that doctor when the
yeah,
lady walks outside and you see him in the shadow like stabbing the doctor. It's very cool. I didn't notice it till the second
because
time.
that's Michael in this movie. Michael is really like more the shape than he's.
Well,
been
the second
in
time it's Corey when he's killing the
Oh,
doctor.
I like that. So symmetry. So, but I like that Michael is just sort of like on the fringes, on the edges of Haddonfield. Not really causing chaos yet, but like almost just causing chaos by his very presence.
Right.
I dig that, man.
People are like killing themselves. Remember that one lady hung herself outside of her house?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that they were trying to show that the paranoia was leading to deaths. Like he was killing people without even being
That's
around.
kind of Stephen Kingy. Like it's like the town, right?
That's very Stephen King. I think that's another problem people had with this movie was that it is not the most Halloweeny movie of any of these. It's probably the least Halloweeny movie of any of these. And I think people wanted, I mean, for a movie called Halloween Ends, people wanted like the ultimate Halloween from this. And it's not that shit, man.
No, it's Friday the 13th, like the sixth one or whatever.
No, it's like what Maddie Rags said, kind of. It's Christine meets Michael, but like I don't mind that.
But what was the Friday the 13th with that where it's like it's that other guy doing the killing?
Hang on, I'm trying to kill a mosquito here.
Oh my gosh.
God, this mosquito like won't let up. He's been bothering me for like 10 minutes. You don't know this, but the last 10 minutes of this podcast, I've been distracted by a mosquito.
Well, you're doing a great job. I'll be honest.
Thank you, thank you. What are we talking about?
I feel like I asked you something. I don't know.
Fuck. All right. Um. Seriously, what were we talking
I
about?
don't know. I guess it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, let's move on.
It'll come back up.
Let's talk about Corey.
Corey Graves?
What do you, Corey Graves?
I don't know. Just the first thing I thought of.
He's our new lead character, and I never could have predicted that we were going to get a new lead character. In this movie.
Well, I was asking you about isn't it more like that Friday the 13th movie where it's that kid, not the kid, but like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little like that. That's a much sillier movie, but I guess like that's the closest analog to like taking a major horror icon and like trying to replace him in a movie and failing spectacularly. And I mean, this one will too. Although I don't think they were trying to do that. They were in this one. They kill Corey in it. Like it's not like they made this with the intention of like Halloween: A New Beginning starring Corey.
Right. Before we get into the into it all, I did count how many of them what their kill counts were. Do you have any guess as to who
Who's
won?
killed Michael and Corey?
Corey versus Michael.
I think Corey had like so much more screen time in this movie. It's got to be him.
Yeah, Corey 10 kills to Michael's 3 kills.
Yeah, but think about the last movie. Michael killed like 1,000 people in that movie. If you really, that's why that one's called Halloween Kills, man. If you want to just watch a bunch of good Michael kills, go back to that one. Like here's the arc of the franchise. It's like the first one.
So
that's Halloween Ends. Okay, the first one, 2018. Halloween Kills. That's for like the goofballs in the audience. That their Halloween Ends. They want like all the old cast members to come back. Let's see Tommy Jarvis again.
That's like the MAGA Halloween movie, kind of.
Well, that's the theme of the movie. They were clearly like influenced by the January 6th riots, but I think that's the kind of movie they were trying to deliver. Like it's every movie is a different Halloween Ends, and it's whichever you prefer. I think the vast majority of people are going to prefer the first one. I don't think many people preferred the second one, but there might be people out there that got really jazzed to see like Anthony Michael Hall and Kyle Richards and shit. Like,
oh, she's in this one.
Yeah, she showed up for a
She
sec.
might be the LVP.
How dare you?
Think about the choices.
And then there's this one for fucking dorks like me who want like an actual like artistic film.
So you're better than everybody else, is what I'm hearing.
That's kind of how that sounded to me. You can decide whether you want.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
Done with what? That's it.
That's my review.
Are we not going to get into like some of the ins and outs of it?
We can, man. Walk me through it. So this kid Corey, he kills that kid, right?
Kills a kid.
And then it goes into the opening credits.
Is that an accident?
Oh, 100% it was an accident.
But then, so he's pure evil, and he kills.
He's not pure evil.
He's not pure evil.
He's not. You misread that, man.
Well, Jamie Lee keeps saying, I see the same thing in him that I saw in Michael all those years ago.
But it was done to him. That's the interesting thing.
And isn't that why
about
Michael keeps him alive? Because he sees like the evil in his eyes?
This movie's argument is that evil...
I agree it's an accident, by the way.
Okay. I think this movie's argument is that Michael is different. Michael is a force of nature. He's been evil from birth, you know? It wasn't trauma that created Michael.
Trauma.
What did I say?
You said it right. I was saying it the Jamie Lee way. She says trauma. Remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that. She does say that. Sorry, what was I just saying? You fucked me up.
How Michael is pure evil. He was born evil.
Right. Yeah. Whereas other people, that's like put on them. I do think like this movie's also kind of influenced by current politics in that they're saying like the people that are MAGA today, okay, they weren't born that way. They were just like were inundated with that propaganda their whole lives. Like their parents believe in the wrong thing.
Wait, how did you get that from this?
Because that's what Corey becomes. Corey at the start of this movie, I think, is a pure soul. Okay? But the paranoia and the craziness and the chaos that Michael brought to Haddonfield fucking infects this kid, okay? And it turns him bad. And I mean, that's why you spend like the first 40 minutes of this movie watching this kid be bullied and shit. And I understand why people don't like that either, because it's kind of just trauma porn, and some people are sensitive to that, and some people thinks that that's exploitative, which it kind of is, but it just, for whatever reason, it doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either. But you said 40 minutes. We do see Michael about 39 minutes into the movie,
which was mind blowing to me. I didn't even realize. I mean, I'm sure other people are watching the movie waiting for Michael. I feel like I'm sounding self-aggrandizing, and I'm not trying to.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm not better than you for liking this movie.
Losers out there,
it's
dummies.
Totally fucking fine to not like this movie. I get it. Like, I'm just explaining why I do. All right.
Right. And I'm not even saying that's like the first time Michael kills anybody. That's the first time we see Michael at all in the entire movie. And
I was impressed with that. Like I pressed a button on my remote control to see what time we were at, like a half hour in. And I was like, man, we still haven't seen Michael yet. It's like a half hour. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't really swaying too much from it at all.
And I wasn't like not compelled by Corey. Like I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about what other people think. I liked Corey. I think Corey
I did too.
Is a really compelling character. I like Rohan Campbell. I think it's a good performance. I'd like to see him in more shit. Apparently, he was on a Hardy Boys TV show. That's what he's from.
Okay, was he Jeff or Matt?
Very good.
When they toss him off,
he actually played Lita. I'm sorry.
When they throw him off that bridge, at that moment where they like meet him on the bridge, right?
I loved.
I thought he was dead. I legit thought he was dead.
Yeah,
I was bummed
did too.
out. I was bummed out.
And I thought that was intriguing too, to spend 40 minutes on a character and then to kill him.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. That's kind of like Psycho, isn't that like about 40 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. And like this movie's clearly not only paying homage to Halloween. Like this is David Gordon Green playing in the horror sandbox and doing like whatever he ever wanted to do.
Did you notice? I'm sure you did. They're watching The Thing.
Yeah, and they're watching the John Carpenter thing instead of the one from the 50s, which they're watching in the original. There's all kinds of shit like that. There's like a Muzak version of Don't Fear the Reaper playing when they're in the supermarket.
Yeah, and I think that's like over the closing credits.
Yeah, you hear it at the end again.
You brought up the supermarket. Did you notice how much this kid loves chocolate milk?
I was hoping Roman would be in one of those coolers, man. Listen to our Scream commentaries. On
This one would,
patreon.com.
that means this would have had Roman, Corey, and Michael Myers killing people. That would have been crazy.
That's the Mount
trifecta.
Rushmore of horror slashers.
Yeah, those and the Leprechaun. I would
Michael
say.
Myers, Corey, Roman from Scream 3, and the Leprechaun doing a gang sign from In the Hood.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen. Should I check that out?
100%. You should watch the first one. The Back to the Hood is like pretty racist and gross.
Should Michael go to the Hood?
No, it's got to be the goofballs. Like Jason can go to the Hood if he wants. I would like that. He kind of did. Like that's pretty much what Takes Manhattan is.
Oh, wait. Can we play a game?
What?
Can we play a game for a second?
You want to play a game like Jigsaw?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right, this is a game.
Can you say at the end of the game, do me a favor, can you say game over really menacingly?
Yes, I will. All right,
Okay.
you ready? This is a game I like to call Is this actor from New York or Haddonfield, Illinois? Okay?
Yeah.
So this is one of the bully kids.
Hey, yo, wait. New friend. Bring you a little milk.
Yeah.
I like milk too. Look, here's the deal, man. We're seniors, okay? We've been practicing for a show the whole year, you know, loading up for tonight's game, and well, we're in the fucking marching band. We were just hoping you could be a cool new friend, you know? Buy us a couple of six-packs.
Yeah, cool new friend and buys a couple 6-packs, you know?
Listen. That's why he's so popular. He's new in town. He comes from Staten Island.
I like that kid, by the way. I thought it was real cool.
His dad's name is Tino, and he runs a towing business.
I don't think that. No, that's not that guy. Oh, the
Yeah.
towing. He could have a towing business.
Yeah.
He's like abusive, that guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot we see him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Hits
he's
him
got
over the head.
That's a great move, by the way. Like the Corey sees like the dad being mean to his bully, and so like later in the movie, he's just like, "Hey, your dad fucking hates you, bro."
Yeah, it's a good move.
It's a great line.
Yeah, and it gets to him also.
It really gets him. He throws him off a fucking bridge. I love the kids like dealing with the aftermath of this too, just sort of like slightly nonplussed, but definitely concerned.
Right. By the way, I watched it again last night. And I do think was that a complaint that people thought this wasn't well written or anything?
I think people just hate this movie, dude. Like this movie got 1 star from like reputable critics. And my feeling is just there's going to be an enormous reevaluation in about 7-8 years. I really believe that. And you're all going to feel weird. There's already been a reevaluation on Halloween Kills. I saw a critic that I follow on Letterboxd that gave Halloween Kills a 1-star rating a year ago and rewatched it in anticipation of this movie and gave it 2.5 stars. It's already happening.
Yeah. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I gave it a 3. Yeah. Like
But do you agree
think
with people changing their rating?
Yeah, I think people are going to
Okay.
soften on that movie, and I think people are going to fall in love with this movie over time. It's going to get into their bones, like Season of the Witch. It took forever. When I was a kid, Season of the Witch came out in like 1983. All right, and when I was a kid in the 90s, Season of the Witch was still thought of as a huge piece of shit that no one should ever bother to see. Okay, and now people talk about that movie like it's the fucking forgotten gem of the Halloween franchise. Every time you see a ranking of these movies, that's there at like number 3 or 4.
You think that people ever say Scream 3 is the best Scream movie? You think that we'll ever get there?
I gotta say, I saw one person say it.
Really? Who's
Listen
that?
to I'll show you this.
Tim?
This blew my mind. No, a reputable critic. His name is. I'll find it. Give me one
Gene
second.
Siskel.
No, it wasn't Gene Siskel.
He would think that. Fucking Gene.
Yeah, just give me a second. You can cut this out. in the
Okay. Well, what I was
final
saying about the
product.
script was like everything works together. Like I was noticing on my rewatch, like the radio host is all over the start of the movie. Everyone's like listening to the radio. There's billboards of the radio host, DJ guy, the muffler thing. How the cop pulls her over, who's her ex, and is like, "Hey, your muffler's not working." How like that makes her go to the thing. Like everything
And that's
was
another like old-fashioned
just
weird
working.
thing. Like there's no logic really. Like it clearly doesn't take place in like our world. It takes place in like a movie world of the 80s. I like that world. I miss that world. Here, David Sims, the co-creator of the Blank Check
Yeah.
podcast, which is very good. He gives his review of Scream 3. He watched it a couple days ago. 4 stars. The new nightmare of screams. Wildly underrated,
Is that a good
angry. Yep. Wildly underrated, angry, brilliant. The first 2 are perfect artifacts of 90s self-referentiality, and this is the knife in the eye of the Dimension Weinstein horror era they created. Now, obviously, that's a stupid review, and he's wrong. But, like, it happens. Like, these movies grow on you. I guarantee you. Everyone hates this movie now. It'll be half of people in a couple of years, and then in 10 years, you're going to see this movie at number 2 and 3 on Halloween rankings.
I wouldn't complain. I don't even know what my
Mark
second
my
favorite is.
goddamn words.
I don't like the second movie that much. I think I like this probably more than 2018. I didn't love
This is this.
2018.
I obviously I was joking at the top of the show, but
Yeah.
I do think that this is my second favorite Halloween movie.
I might agree with you. I think I might be higher on H2O than you are probably. Michelle Williams, come on, that's fun.
Yeah, that's like up there. Here it is. I'll do the list right now and off the top of my head.
Okay.
Number 1, Halloween. Okay, 78. Number 2, this one. Okay.
Yep.
Number 3, the one from 2018.
Yep.
Number 4, Halloween 2. Number 5, Season of the Witch.
Okay.
Number 6, H20.
Yep.
All right. Number 7, let's go with Halloween 4.
See, now we're like off a cliff, right?
No, they're still doing all right. I'll go with Halloween 4, number 7.
Okay.
Number 8.
Which one is that? Which one's Paul Rudd?
That's 6.
Okay.
All right. You screwed me up. I'm at number 8.
Yes.
Number 8, I'm going to say Halloween Kills. All right.
Okay.
Number 9, I'm going to go with the second Rob Zombie Halloween.
Wow.
Okay. Number 10, I'm going to say the fucking Paul Rudd one.
Okay, there's 3 more?
Yeah. All right. Then after the Paul Rudd one, we're going to go with Halloween 5. Then
The Curse of Michael Myers?
that's the Revenge of Michael
God damn
Myers.
it.
Curse is 6. Then after that, we're going to go with Resurrection and then the
Aw.
first Rob Zombie.
I kind of like Resurrection. That's fun.
Well, yeah, I like all of them.
No, I'd probably have Resurrection like 7th.
Yeah, that's because it's that era. You just
Right.
really like that era of horror.
Yeah, you're right about that. Was it like 2001 or something?
It was 2002. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's my ranking, man. Listen, Ends, this shit's top notch.
Yeah. I agree with you. Very, very good.
And the kills are good too. You liked that tongue kill.
Yeah, that was a great
or
kill.
some of the others.
Well, he stabs that homeless guy. That's the first guy he like actually kills, right? Because he's
Yeah.
like, I guess he's threatening him though. He kills those 4 band people.
How about the part in the tunnel, like in that scene?
Yeah.
where the camera's sort of like rotating slightly. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I like when Michael gets the first kill on that cop, that ex-boyfriend cop, and he like starts coming. That was a cool moment.
He starts coming.
Yeah, he kills him and he like stands there and is like, it starts like vibrating and he's like, damn, I got it, my mojo back. Like
Oh,
Austin
yeah.
Powers.
I'll tell you one thing.
Like
One
Michael
knock.
Myers. Oh shit, like Michael Myers. I didn't even mean to do that.
I'm gonna give you a knock on this movie.
Yeah.
Does he have to do the fucking head tilt every time?
Yeah,
he
he
kills
does.
Somebody?
I
Come
I
on,
no, I liked
man.
it. I really liked
Enough
it.
of that shit. He does it once in the original, one time.
He does it once in all of them, right? Did he
but
do
I
it
feel
multiple
like-
times in this one?
I don't know. He did it like 3 times in this one.
I noticed it once with the assistant that got the promotion when he stabs her up against the wall and he does the head tilt.
No, I definitely noticed it more than twice.
Well, a lot of the kills are actually Corey in the Halloween mask, so they
No,
some-
but Corey's not doing that shit. Corey's got a different vibe about him when he's killing. He's more nervous. He's going faster.
I'll tell you the only people Michael kills. All right, the cop in the tunnel. That's when he gets his mojo back. the girl who gets promoted at her work. Do you remember her? She has red hair.
She gets promoted. What
And
is
she's like
the-
hanging out with the doctor at his home, and they're like gonna.
Oh, that's right. The daughter works at like a dentist's office in this movie.
It's like a hospital. Remember, he goes to get treated for his cut.
Yeah, but I think it was a private practice from like within a hospital, and the redhead is like her. They're competing. Laurie Strode's daughter
Drag
and the
Me to Hell,
redhead
kind of.
are. I don't remember that from Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, she's like
They're-
competing for a promotion.
Okay. Yeah, they're competing for a promotion, and the redhead gets it. She's fucking the dentist, and then we get a scene in the dentist's house. I'm telling you, it reminded me of the opening of Earth Girls Are Easy when Gina Davis walks in on her doctor husband cheating on her, Dr. Love. That shit is so good.
Wow. And then he kills Corey. Those are his only 3 kills.
Yeah, but you can argue, I think, that, and people will hate me saying this, but I think you can argue that all of the kills in this movie were performed by Michael, because Michael created this sense
God,
of
whatever,
fear
semantics.
and paranoia in the town. He created Corey. Corey wouldn't exist without the influence that Michael has held over the town of Haddonfield for the last year, or the last few years at this point.
You're right. I
Yeah.
was it concede? What is it called?
Condone?
No.
Oh, concede.
Concede. I concede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. By the way, did this kid like,
That's how I know you're a Democrat.
is that a thing they say?
No, just Republicans don't concede anymore. That's a thing they're doing.
Oh, right, okay, right. But did this guy did he go to jail or something? Like, he did kill a kid.
Who?
Corey.
Corey? No, I mean, they deal with that because he runs into the parents a couple of times. And I like that the father sort of understands them a little more. There's a great scene with the father and Laurie talking. And then there's another great scene with the mother running into Corey in the bar when he's like finally letting
Did she know he
loose,
was
letting
there,
him-
or she just like hang out there every night like she's drunk?
I
all the
think
time?
she was just like drinking herself to death in that bar and came across this fucking kid and was unhappy to see him being happy.
Yeah. She handled
but
herself really well, though, if she is like drunk all the time there and sees him finally.
Yeah, she's functional alcoholic, you know. I managed it for a few years there. And yeah, I think like he probably went to court, like there was a trial, and he got a manslaughter charge, probably got put on probation, maybe like home custody, and then, you know, it's manslaughter. He didn't murder somebody.
That could be cool, like a Disturbia Halloween movie.
That would be great, yeah.
I should write that.
I mean, that's
Disturbia
sort
Halloween.
of what the original Halloween is, right? Because she's just like looking out the window and like
I
seeing
guess you're right.
like Michael Myers walking
But
around
she
with
can walk
bodies
from
and
house
shit.
to house.
Yeah, you want her to be confined more.
He can only walk from like.
you like a woman that's trapped.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sorry.
They need to have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I feel like I have that with the Saw movies.
Do you?
Yeah.
You like,
Like-
appreciating your own life now?
No. I just feel like there was like a period with like where we were watching 3 and 4, and I was like, this is starting to get gross, and like they're not quite as fun. Like 3 was a bummer, and then
You
this
hate
week-
Hoffman, and we're in the Hoffman era, but you're
I
still,
know,
like,
and
even
I
more in.
that's why I think I have Stockholm syndrome, man.
Oh, and we did 3 in
I'm-
1 week. Maybe
I'm
that played a
falling
part.
in love with my captor. We lost 5 minutes of the episode just now, but all right, what do we talk about in those 5 minutes?
We talked about Will Patton, how he used to hit on your girl you worked with, and I
Hey, Forrest, why don't you
her
get
name
o-
was Forrest.
Can you get over here and help me with a movie? I just want to talk about how I'm going to take you to see the cherry blossoms.
and you guys would say run Forrest run.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And,
and I really would annoy her.
and then I said, well, did he ever say, I just want to shake the hand of the daughter of the most brave man that I ever met?
And
But
you
then I realized I was
that
William
you meant
Fichtner.
William Fichtner from
'Cause I'm
Armageddon.
an idiot. I'm a goddamn
right.
idiot.
And I made a joke about how that new James Gray movie Armageddon Time was a sequel to Armageddon. That
And
was-
I had no idea what he was
yeah,
talking
you
about.
didn't know what I was talking about. And then what?
Then we touched on Corey's parents. He
You
had
really
like
liked his parents, and I made a joke. I said, "No, do your thing, and then I'll do my joke."
What was my thing?
Just talk about the parents a little bit.
Oh, I just really liked him. I thought she was like a good, like on his ass mom, and I thought that the stepdad was like nice.
And I thought it was weird that he had a sister named Morgan who disappeared for a while, but then came back in a later season.
Right. He's obsessed with Boy Meets World.
Right, because his name is
we're in the
Corey.
Saw.
Because his name is Corey. That's why.
We've had Eric Matthews
well,
and
there's
now Corey.
well, that's what I'm saying. We're dealing with Eric Matthews and
Holy
Corey. It's no
shit.
wonder them bringing up Boy Meets World a lot.
Yeah, I get it. Maybe we'll get a Topanga. Has that name ever been used in anything else?
No, it should. They would immediately, because that's the thing. You'd have to
You
make a
can't,
Boy Meets
though.
World reference.
Yeah, you can't use that without. It's
Yeah.
like this character's name is Princess Leia. What? What do you mean her name's Princess Leia?
Yeah,
She's
Alright,
as iconic as Princess Leia in my mind.
me too.
What else did we talk about?
We talked about how he has a spooky mask, Corey. And
Oh yes, I like his mask. Both liked his
we
mask.
both liked his mask, but I said he should have had a Spock mask.
Yes, a play on the Shatner mask.
Yeah,
if you don't know about that,
or maybe to update it, a Chris Pine mask.
right?
Yeah,
But they would spray paint it white, right?
yeah, no. I'm not saying like he should just wear a mask of Chris Pine. That would be
How
hilarious.
similar do you think that would look? Actually, we didn't talk about this.
I
but
think
this
if you
is new.
spray painted a Chris Pine mask white, it would just look like a Michael Myers mask.
Yeah, I wonder if like people would even notice or not.
It'd be like, well, hey, that Michael Myers got a little younger and handsomer.
Like isn't the Scream mask like slightly different in every movie? But like,
I'm surprised they never. I'm surprised they never colored the Scream mask. Don't you think like one of the killers would have like painted that shit red or something, freak everybody out?
They do have a version that's glow in the dark. I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I think I had one Halloween.
Really, those
Yeah.
for losers, kind of.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? The knives at the beginning of Scream 2 are glow in the dark. There's nothing wrong with glow in the dark shit.
You're right, but I would want it like if you're gonna buy the costume, why not just buy how the movie is?
I don't believe
intended.
I bought it. I think I literally like picked it up from the floor of a Halloween party and walked around with it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. then. What were you wearing originally that you just like dropped?
Probably
your other outfit?
nothing. I almost never wore costumes. The last time I wore a
You're
costume on
lame.
Halloween, I was 17 years old and I dressed as Morrissey
From what?
from the Smiths.
Oh, okay. Jim Morrissey.
No, but you know what? I used to do that when I was a kid. Like when you're a kid, you hear about like these two famous,
Oh,
like
really? You did that?
these famous artists named Jim Morrison and Morrissey. And in my brain, like when I was a kid, I guess I assumed they were connected in some way, or that Morrissey was a nickname for Jim Morrison or something. And then, like as an adult, like or not even like in high school, I bought a Morrissey record from like a bargain bin, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Morrissey rules!"
I thought that Banksy was a nickname for Tyra Banks for like 10 years.
That's hilarious.
I didn't actually think that, but
Or that
something
singer
like me.
Banks.
I don't know the singer Banks.
Yeah, she's like a Grimes, I think.
Okay. I had something. Whenever they attack those band kids, like they all go to that junkyard or whatever, like the mechanic place where he works,
Yeah,
and yeah, maybe that's like a Christine actually, because he gets in that car and he's like driving toward them. I don't know. I guess the Christine thing was a motorcycle, but they just like run from this car coming toward them straight instead of like turning left.
I
or turning
actually,
right.
I totally did notice that because they noticed that.
Holy shit!
Let's just end the podcast. Put me out of my misery. I'm retiring from podcasting.
No. We didn't even talk about like the final showdown.
Go ahead. I'm done. Just
All right, Lori,
finish it.
What do you think about Laurie versus Michael?
It was good. I liked it.
Okay. All right. He liked it, guys. You weren't upset that it took place in one kitchen?
I don't give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck, guys. Did you like that Corey died happiness style?
Don't care.
He got his neck snapped. He didn't care, guys. I don't know if you can hear him, but he doesn't care. Any other questions? Allison, Alllyson. Thoughts?
I've seen that before.
You don't have any thoughts?
No.
Okay. All right. I prefer but I guess that's just me. You think that Laurie Strode and Will Patton get married?
I don't care.
All right. He loved the movie at the start. We had issues, guys, and he lost his mojo, like Austin Powers. I give it 3 stars. What do you give it?
4.
Wow, no, I thought you were gonna give it 5. All right, that makes sense. Who's your MVP?
I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Did you like Allison? Did you like Corey?
Yeah, I liked them all.
Can't be Lori, I don't think. Is Jamie Lee Curtis good?
As an actor,
I'm just kidding. Sometimes I think that though. So she's kind of like Laura Dern.
that's because you
sometimes, to me.
literally only watch her in dumb horror movies. Like, watch her
You're right.
stretch as an actress. You'll see that
I
she's
saw
good.
True Lies. I saw True Lies.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, of course. That's a very intense performance.
I guess you're right. Anyway, what do you think about my Laura Dern comparison? You like that or no?
I didn't really understand it, except that they're both women who are slightly diminutive but tall from the 80s.
That's not even what I was thinking. My MVP, I'm gonna go with that stepdad. I really liked him, and I was sad when he got shot in the face.
All right.
Runner up, the editing. Really loved the editing. LVP, I have the cop written down. I have Kyle Richards written down.
Mm-hmm.
Those bullies written down. You can.
I'm going to
take
go
your
with
pick.
Audio Technica, the manufacturers of my microphone. I'm
All right,
also
I
going to
agree.
go with my alternate LVPs are MacBook Air and the viewers of this movie for not getting it.